welcome to the broadcast, sir. Thank you for coming in here. We appreciate you. What would you like to add to the conversation, sir?
Well, I've been hearing some of the rumors that's been going around, and one was that Carmelo's family was offered a plea deal where they were going to go ahead. If he took the plea deal, they were going to drop the murder charge down to a manslaughter charge, and they didn't take it because they felt that it was an open and shut case of self-defense. I mean, that's the rumors. That's all I can go by because there's a million and one rumors spreading around.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I think that his family should have took the plea bargain and took the manslaughter charges.
Okay. Let me get you to sit up a little bit so we can see your whole face, brother. I want to see your whole handsome. For you so handsome. We want everybody to
Oh
see
yeah,
your
I'm
handsome face in
FBA,
here.
baby. I'm handsome. I'm beautiful. What you talking about?
Okay, just put the camera on so we can actually see your face. If you can line it, there we go. That's perfect. So,
Okay.
I've heard a lot of the different rumors. Whether or not they offered a plea deal, I've asked people about. It's my understanding that there was never a plea deal offered.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't think they plan to offer him a plea deal at all. See, here's the thing I need you all to understand. Nobody uh and shout out, I think somebody gave a super chat. Shout out to 1001 Backbone. Thank you so much. I'm gonna read all the super chats when I get through with this thing. But nobody in that courtroom who's been there before, including the judge, the prosecutor, or the defense attorney, thought that this young man was going to walk out of there that day. They knew he was going to prison. The only question was whether or not he was going to get manslaughter or a murder charge. That's it. That was the only question. Okay. Now the jury didn't believe the self-defense, but the only people who seemed surprised at this verdict is the public. Number one, the young man admitted that he did it. He admitted that he stabbed the young man. Okay. And you have some noise playing in the background.
No, not at all.
Okay, a little feedback there. So it's hard to get around when you have an admission, you have 20 witnesses who saw you do it. You're probably going to go to prison. The only question is whether or not it's going to be manslaughter or murder. The judge knew what was going to happen. The prosecutor knew what was going to happen. The defense attorney knew what was going to happen. Pretty much everybody knew that this was going to happen because we've seen this 100 times in the practice of law, in the criminal practice of law. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I
So just
do.
keep that in mind. Now, I'm not defending anybody's lawyer. I don't know anything about the lawyers, but I do know it is very common to hire an ex-prosecutor who has worked in that particular county to represent them because he knows everybody. A lot of times, if you've been a prosecutor for some years in a certain county, you know the other prosecutors, you know the judges, you know what they like, you know the local feel, you know the juries. Prosecutors try, a prosecutor can try 100 cases in a 10-year time period. So I, people are trying to nitpick in this and go back and forth as to why, but the bottom line is, man, this wouldn't happen if these young men had emotional control. But I need some more criticism. Give me some criticism, FBA for life. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be like this. I'm a ex military. I was in the
Mhm,
Marine Corps. Okay, and they taught us about hand to hand combat and all those things.
mhm,
Um, when Carmelo went into his bag to retrieve whatever instrument that he used, he had a chance to pick a target. He could have stabbed him in the arm. He could have stabbed him in the leg. He could have stabbed him in the shoulder. He targeted the heart,
mm,
meaning he went straight for the kill shot. Your lungs and your heart are directly lined up. And when he stabbed him in the heart, it don't even take much of a penetration for it to cause lethal damage.
yeah.
So when I look at it this way, even if he was afraid, he did have control of the events because he could have either branched it and showed the guy, like, look, I got this knife, you better step back, or he could have did it in a non-lethal way by stabbing them in the arm, the hands, whatever, because they said it was only one stab. So if it was just one stab, then that means that was the lethal stab. It was intent. It was intent to cause death. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Well, it definitely was meant to cause serious bodily harm. I don't think the young man thought that he was going to. I don't know what he thought. He didn't testify, but and one of the key elements for self-defense is that you have to kind of put yourself up there under cross-examination so the jury can hear your side of the story. And his defense team elected not to do that. Maybe they thought there was already. Maybe they
Which I
thought there
thought was
was.
a big mistake.
Well, here's the thing. If you put him up there and now you have his testimony and then you get a new trial, which I think they anticipated they would get a new trial because of the Batson issue where they dismissed all of the black witnesses or black jurors, right?
Right.
You know, because again, if you don't have a unanimous jury, then you get a hung jury, you have to do it again. So one black witness might be a holdout and make them have to try the case all over again. And the prosecutor probably said, well, you know what? As long as we get a prosecution today, we're fine. We'll deal with an appeal later on. But maybe the defense attorney assumed that, you know what, this case will be appealed. We'll get an opportunity for a new trial, and then we'll determine whether or not we're going to have him testify live. But at this particular time,
well, one thing I did notice, this is going back to the Rittenhouse, the Rittenhouse trial.
Okay, so let me. No, brother. That was another state with another jury and another defendant. We're gonna focus 100% on Karmelo Anthony's case. So we can't litigate all those other cases. See, this is the problem. We can throw in this and throw in that, but let's stay focused on this situation right here. This 17-year-old boy at a track meet in broad daylight, surrounded by 40 or 50 people. Keep in mind, there was a tent right next to the tent he was sitting at. Did you see the setup, how it was on the stands? It's
yes,
a tent sitting right next to the tent that he was sitting at. Okay?
Right, I saw it.
So I'm just making a reasonable assumption. If he got up and moved out of that tent, do you think those other people would have said, hey, yeah, you can't sit under any of these tents, even though there's dozens of people here? I don't think that the question never came up, but the jury is looking at this. Why didn't he just go? He could go scoot 2 feet over and he'd have been in another tent. You see? I mean, I'm looking at the photograph. I don't know what was in the jury's mind, but that's what I'm thinking. But anyway, the link is in the chat room. Anybody else who wants to come in is welcome to come in. Brother, what else would you have to say? What else would you like to add?
Well, one thing else, thank you so much for you being representing the black community and you being ahead with a cool head and you looking at things logically, not looking at things emotionally. I'm a father, and anytime a parent loses a child, it's a tragedy. Yeah. Even though Austin might have had his flaws and so forth, he didn't deserve to die. And that's where, as a Christian, and I know people are going to be like, oh, here we go. But as a Christian, nah, thou shalt not kill. That's the code. And, you know, that's just me.
Well, I respect your opinion. I respect that. But I will say this. You have a right to defend yourself. Okay. The issue is not whether or not Karmelo Anthony had a right to defend himself. I believe everybody understands that he had a right to defend himself. The issue is the proportionality of force that he used in response. You cannot bring a knife to a fist fight, just like you can't bring a pistol or a gun or a firearm to a fist fight. At that point, you're using deadly force in response to a fair fist fight. That's not happening. Now, there probably are some circumstances if you're an elderly person and there's a young person beating you down and your life is in danger. I think a jury may agree with that. Okay. If you're a very, very sick or ill person, or even if you on the ground and somebody's on top of you punching you in the face and you use a pistol or a knife or something because your head is hitting on the concrete, you have a reasonable belief that your life is about to be in. I can understand that, but that wasn't the situation here. This man, this young boy, got in an argument with another young boy. They were both talking back and forth. Okay. And one of them put hands on him by pushing him, and then it just escalated. But that's not supposed to happen.